I just had a bit of a hard day today at work, so I just wanted to spend some time out here in the garden. I don't know about you, but doing gardening stuff always makes me feel better. It's actually been raining a lot. Everything kind of looks a bit wet, but the plants have really been growing with this past couple days rain, and the weather has also warmed up a bit. We have been having the nights a bit closer to 50s, and because of that, this morning before I left to work, I actually started acclimating my overwintered peppers. I took all the peppers that were downstairs by the grow light out here. Those have been overwintered. And take a look at this guy here, the shishito pepper. He's full of flowers. I don't think they're gonna turn into fruit. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if there's enough time. This is new to me. Usually when I overwinter peppers, they mostly look like this. They're never as big and healthy like that, but because I have been keeping these guys by the grow lights, all of them have a lot of new growth. Oh, this is a bad example. You see this? That's how my overwintered peppers looked like last year. They didn't have a lot of foliage in them, with just the stems, and then slowly they started coming back to life. But these guys here all have a lot of foliage, and I'm curious to see how they're going to do this year. The green stalk is showing lots of growth. Let me turn that so you guys can see. Look at this bok choy, how big it got already. This lettuce is looking really nice too. Sorrel. Everyone is growing well, and this has been just a few days of growth after the crazy cold snap that we had, but they seem pretty happy. This guy has a little damage, but it's fine. Look at those are looking really good. The raised beds, they are starting to pick up. Another thing, check this out. I have peas. Those peas here, I'm putting this trellis. I hope that they grow up to this and maybe even grab into this little corn here. I don't know. Those are the sugar tender Magnolia peas. The ones I grew last year, the purple ones, and they were very vigorous and had this very pretty nice tendrils. So I'm growing them in a pot this year, which is a little different. They were in the ground last year in the front yard, but I'm curious to see if they do well too. This flower is looking really nice. And check out this cauliflower. See this? How much growth? It looks so huge from last week even. He's really picking up, and it's so awesome how much they actually grow. This Napa cabbage in the green stalk is just, look at that. Now it's doing much better than this Napa cabbage in here. They were planted similar days, but look at that and look at this. So I don't know if it's the soil in there. They're both getting sun. This is an older pot that I amended the soil also. I mean, the soil in the green stalk because the soil is the same it was there last year, but I'm not sure. That one is really doing much better than this guy here, and this one has more space. And this scale also really getting huge. Isn't it amazing to see how much they actually picked back up and how nice they look after just having a cold snap like the one we did. The strawberry that I said I was going to take these burnt leaves, I actually got distracted and didn't do it. Everyone has a little flower, and I'm considering if I should pinch it off or not. It's the first one. I have to read more about it. So now back where we started, the seedlings. That's actually what I put it out here to show you guys. They are out for the first time, even though it's a little cloudy. It feels really good outside. I'm wearing a sweater because I tend to run on the cold side, but actually feels really good. I think it's in the mid to upper 50s right now. They look a lot nicer with natural sunlight than with the artificial sunlight downstairs. So biggest update here is this eggplant. I have actually separated them. See how they have all these individual pots. Most of them were really big, and I found some tiny seedlings underneath, and I decided to give them a chance too. So I also gave them individual pots. Let's see how that's gonna do. But some of them are looking very good. Just from putting them in more space, I think they grew even bigger. So they will start hardening up soon. But eggplant really likes a little bit of the hotter side, so keep them in the greenhouse for sure until I decide to plant them. This is a sunflower. Check this out. It has these spots. I thought it was from my grow light. I'm not sure if it's burning it because it got all these yellow things, and I'm not familiar with it. This is the chocolate sunflower. If you guys know what this is, if you don't mind letting me know down in the comments below, I'll really appreciate it. But it was inside the whole time, the first time that I bring it out, and I just brought it out like 10 minutes ago, so this was already like this inside. The seeds that I sowed the other day getting really big on this side too. You guys saw that these sunflowers and stuff were in here. I sold some other stuff on that space, so I have some chamomile in here that I was not originally planning to grow, with some strawberry calendula. I had a dear friend visiting last weekend. She's also a gardener, and she was kind enough to bring her seeds so I could pick the ones I wanted to grow too. So I picked some of these things that are here, and I have already started them. Downstairs I have some orange hat tomato and a few other things I can show another day what I grabbed from her too. But tell you, my grow list, I try to be organized and make that 2022 grow list that has definitely been ever growing since then. So I'm gonna have a lot more things this year than I thought I would. Here, tomatoes, see how much stronger they look. They look really nice. Their stems are a bit thicker and they're definitely needing to get out of here. So I need to find some time this week, probably right after this. I hope I can just start repotting them. I don't have enough pots to put all of them yet. I have to wash some of them from last year. So when I can do that, I can separate them individually and give them more space to grow. I am not going to plant this out until Mother's Day, I think. Even though our last frost date has already passed, when I looked again, you guys saw in the last video, it said April 3rd. It has technically passed, but that's just an estimate. You know, there's a 30% chance that something can happen. So I don't feel comfortable putting this stuff inside that soon this year, especially because I have so many cold weather crops growing here, and I'm gonna try to keep them because of space too in this little greenhouse. But my question is with this, for if you guys are more experienced tomato growers, if the nights are still not in the 50s, is that okay to keep them outside in this greenhouse even though it's unheated overnight? Because after researching more, after last year, I think that my tomatoes also didn't produce as much and got sick early because I might have put them out too late. I was all excited last year and I thought it would be fine. I was following a bunch of YouTubers on Zone 7B, and I fully admit my mistake now, and I thought it would be fine, and it was, they survived, but they didn't produce as much. So I'm wondering if it's because the nights were still not in the 50s when I put them out. If you know the answer to that, can you please let me know in the comments below, because that's what I read online. But there's a lot of people that have channels and say that they put them out anyways and they do fine. So I'm just curious to know about your experience. And also with eggplants and peppers, those definitely tend to like it a bit warmer. Even though I am already starting to harden off my peppers, the overwintered ones are already big. But because they are in pots, it's easy for me to just move them. So I'm leaving them out now because the temperature is nice, and I have to be honest, I haven't watered them in a while. So because it's raining and I was a bit short on time this morning, I just put them out here so they can get some rain and be watered in that way as well. And then I'm just going to keep putting them back inside at night in my living room, since they're already in pots and it's easy to transport them. So those plants are a bit more mature than my baby seedlings, so super curious to know your personal experience about these things. But trying to get back on track here, let me show you guys a couple of my peppers that I buttered out. So this is the fish pepper that last time I said I didn't see any variegation on it, and that's how it's supposed to look like. So now I noticed that the leaves are starting to change color. So this one looks pretty variegated in almost every leaf. And this one has just started. You can see that there's some in here, there's some specks in there. Now I don't know if they start like this then turn like this. To be honest, I could have missed this and not seen it, but from what I remember last time I saw, most of them were just like that. I'm just happy that I can see some variegation on them too, because they're just so pretty. And just back to this side here, I am going to also, when I get a chance, start taking these out of here and planting them out. After I harden these off, I think they can go straight outside because it's been warm enough for everybody else, and they're growing really nice. There's some more percolated bok choy and some kale, different kinds of kale, some bok choy in here. Is it bok choy? Actually, no, this is tatsoi. This is actually tatsoi, which is exciting too. So I'm gonna get going here and start washing some pots, some little pots, so I can go ahead and start separating all of these tomato seedlings. But I already feel better just being out here for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna work outside a little bit. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here for this little quick update, and I'd like to know in the comments below if gardening also really helps you feeling a bit better when you have stressful days, because for me it makes such a big difference. So thank you so much for watching again. I hope you are having a great day, and I'll see you next time.